Joining us now, Madison Sheahan, who up until this week was the deputy director of ICE, and she is now running for Congress in my new home state of Ohio. Great to see you, Madison. First, I want to get your reaction to this breaking news out of Fox and our own David Spunt that the Department of Justice is investigating Governor Tim Walz and Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis for impeding law enforcement officers on the ground, officers that would not need to be there if they ran the state and the city as properly and protecting the citizens and our tax dollars.
You're absolutely right. Governor Walz has used dangerous rhetoric against ICE officers for a long time now, and he's continued to encourage violent protesters to attack the ICE officers. The men and women of ICE go out every single day and enforce immigration laws. It's written. They continue to keep America safer. They arrest gang members, murderers, and rapists, and they'll continue to do that. And this is exactly why I'm running for Congress, because we don't need more Democrats in office who continue to villainize law enforcement officers for doing their job. Marcy Kaptur, my opponent, voted in the 90s for the Immigration Nationality Act that our officers go out every single day and enforce. And now she vilifies these officers for going out and doing their jobs, just like Governor Walz has.
You know, it's that vilification that gets me. It's the talk, the language of ICE invading Minnesota, right? The authoritarians on the way, the Civil War kind of imagery and language, Madison. And you would understand this better than anybody. When you speak that way, the rabble-rousers, the rioters in Minnesota, that's language for them to act a certain way. And you're seeing more and more of it. Now we've got a weekend coming. It's going to be dang cold in Minnesota, but I think those people are going to be out there. And it just feels like the violence, you know, not the documenting. They're not taking video. It's the violence. And that's where I look at leaders like Walz and Frey, and I say they have egged that on more than they have calmed it.
Absolutely correct. They continue to use this dangerous rhetoric, allowing violent protests to happen in their cities. Look, you're more than welcome to protest as long as you keep it peaceful and keep law enforcement officers safe and not villainize them for going out and doing their jobs. These officers are out arresting criminals every single day and putting their lives on the line. These brave officers go out and do their job, and they have fantastic support from President Trump and Secretary Noem to be able to do that.
These officers, these law enforcement officers from the federal government would not need to be on the ground if these states and cities, local governments cooperated with the detainers and actually believed in the federal immigration laws and held these people who are dangerous. Instead, it's always been about them coddling criminals, Madison, and then not standing up or not even speaking up for women who are raped or lose their lives. That's what I've never been able to wrap my head around. And you brought up that you're running for the House in the Ohio's 9th District. And that is gone even more red, has it not? It's up in the kind of northernmost point it's kind of a sliver of Ohio, in the northernmost point of Ohio. But it's gone even more toward Trump than it did in previous years.
Absolutely. The district is a pro-Trump, America First district. I'm a Trump conservative. I'm running for the seat because I know I can beat Marcy Kaptur. She's been in office for over 40 decades, and it's time that the people of Northwest Ohio deserve more from their leaders and those who represent them. Somebody who's going to go to Congress and fight for them and work with President Trump to be able to get his agenda through Congress, as you've seen him be incredibly successful in it, whether it's supporting law enforcement officers, supporting business. And as he ushers in this golden age of America, I want to be fighting for President Trump in Congress, just as I have for him as the deputy director of ICE.
You know, there's a trade-off there. You had an important role with ICE. There was a lot that you were doing in America. You go to Congress, it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of sand in the gears. But maybe there's some kind of legislation that you can produce that can help solve some of these issues so that when you look at a place like Minneapolis, it's not just a bunch of mayhem, it's actually getting the bad guys that we've got to get to keep our communities safe. Madison, great to see you today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.